Hello, welcome to The Real Deal. Now, some people's lives are just so bonkers that a documentary is better than any dramatisation that Hollywood might cook up.
Now, directed by Mike Myers, yes, that Mike Myers, Shep Gordon's Supermensch is the story of one such fella. Here's a clip.
Let's invent something new that nobody's ever seen before, and let's stick with it.
We tried to do as many outrageous things as we could. Let's do shows for women only. Everybody went wild.
No matter what this was, he would navigate us through this rough passage.
I was so over my head.
Now, seeing all these Hollywood legends talking about this guy who I've never heard of before in that trailer looks incredible.
Yeah.
I love a good documentary. How good is Supermensch?
This film is insane. People that keep popping up, so you're just sitting watching, oh, that's Sylvester Stallone, and oh, there's Michael Douglas, and okay, yeah, here's Mike Myers, and there's Steve Tyler. I mean, it's just mad. It is mad. Basically, Shep Gordon is he's a music manager, but he's so much more than that. His most famous and original client is Alice Cooper, who he's been managing for 40 years with no contract, by the way, just because they're friends, that's what they do. And he managed Alice Cooper and then took on other people such as Blondie, Teddy Pendergrass as well, who obviously was tragically paralysed, and Shep was behind his performance at Live Aid when he's in a wheelchair, all that kind of thing. I mean, this man has had the most amazing life. Friends with the Dalai Lama, the man who created the idea of the celebrity chef, all this sort of thing. But
So varied.
It's mad. The film is a goldmine of anecdotes, but at the heart of it as well is this ultimate pathos. It's ultimately quite a sad film,
Right.
because I suppose it explores the nature of fame, and he talks about how everyone he's met who's famous, it's unhealthy, and everyone he was friends with in the early days either dead or in rehab, and it's very, very sad.
Yeah.
And throughout his whole life, and Mike Myers keeps coming back to this actually, is the idea of Shep not having children of his own despite being a man who loves family so much, and he wants to have kids of his own. And even there's a point, and don't worry, I'm going to get onto the fun stuff in a minute.
No, Joe loves this film.
Yeah, but there's a point where we find out that his ex-partner's daughter has died.
Right.
And Shep takes on not just financial, but paternal responsibility for her 4 children, and pays for their entire education and is there for them for their entire lives, and raises this entire family of a woman whose daughter he's not even with anymore. It's an amazing story. He's an amazing guy, marketing genius as well. For example, when they were trying to break Alice Cooper in the UK, no one knew who he was. They had Wembley Arena to fill. They'd sold 50 tickets, basically, the night before the gig. So he got a lorry with a billboard of Alice Cooper naked apart from a boa constrictor draped across him, drove it round Piccadilly Circus, and then had it break down. It was on the front page of every newspaper. They sold out the next day.
Fantastic.
He's an amazing guy, has a real sort of eye for this business. And it's full of these talking heads. As I say, Michael Douglas, Steve Tyler, Mike Myers, of course, is in there, Sylvester Stallone.
And there's loads of photos, aren't there, of like him with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, it's so...
And people talking about how some people would tell Shep certain things they wouldn't even tell their wife.
Yeah.
You know, he's a real confidant.
Well, he's a man who inspires, trust, I think, in people. Mike Myers said when he first got really famous, he just went to live with him for a couple of months. He lives in Maui, out in Hawaii, in this amazing house. And it's just an incredible story. I mean, there's so many anecdotes about Cary Grant, but when he talks about, because he went out with Sharon Stone, Natch, he talks about how he met her. They were at the Cannes Film Festival in a castle. He was there with Michael Douglas, Mick Jagger and Roman Polanski. And Sharon Stone walked in and they tottered off upstairs together.
Ooh.
It is just...
But can I just say, he's the most unassuming looking guy.
Yeah.
Like, you would just walk past him and
Yeah.
you wouldn't know who he was, and having all this power.
Well, and the thing about this film as well, because it's not, he doesn't seem like a power broker. It also doesn't seem sycophantic, because you might think, oh, it's just a propaganda piece about how great he is, but it sort of says, look, this is Shep, make up your mind. And he's just of such an interesting, likeable guy. Visual style's very interesting as well.
Yep.
Because it sort of cuts it in with these, and this is very Mike Myers, with these kind of comic recreations of Shep's life, like sort of phone calls between him and Teddy Pendergrass. Just like, no, Shep, I told you, I'm not going on. It's like, you got to go on, Teddy. All this, it's really weird and fun.
For some reason, I had that music of da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, it is. I think that does even play. I mean, it's an amazing film. It's so interesting. It's so rich. And at the heart of it, as I say, it has something that's ultimately quite sad, that despite having such a varied and rewarding life and having touched so many people, he's still got this ultimate sadness at the heart of everything he does.
God, feels like a bit of a roller coaster.
Mm.
In the trailer, Shep says 3 things: find the money, find the money, find the money.
Yeah.
What 3 things would you say about this film?
Brilliant, go see it, basically. It's one of the most interesting films I've seen certainly all year and for a long time in just every way. Loved it.
And how many stars?
Gets a full 5 stars. Yeah, the legend of Shep Gordon, and he is a legend.
The 3 most important things a manager does: get the money, to always remember to get the money, never forget to always remember to get the money.
So that was the real review of Supermensch, the legend of Shep Gordon, the legend that he is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, legend. But did we get it right? Obviously, we absolutely loved it, but once you've had a chance to check out the movie, let us know what you think by commenting below, subscribe to us on YouTube, you can follow us on Twitter at The Real Film Show, or check out our lovely new blog, The Real Deal, on film.com. Thanks for watching.